Hooray! Hi guys, so girl Lillian Mutambo, also known as Gela Wapazed, girl from Zambia. If you're new to this YouTube channel, please subscribe so that each time I upload videos, you'll be notified that Gela Wapazed post a video. Thank you so much for more than 95,000 subscribers. Na totela sana. In this live stream, I would like us to discuss a very important topic. I receive this question every time from different people because they've seen me in Africa for quite some time. And I would like us to discuss. If you want to be part of this discussion, I will be dropping the link in a few minutes just now so that you can prepare yourself and be part of this live stream. The whole essence of this discussion is for you guys to share your experiences, your views, and what you understand. Many of you on this YouTube platform are people from different parts of Africa and different parts of the world, Jamaica, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Trinidad, that want to be part of these discussions. And maybe sometimes I focus on my country, Zambia, but this time I also want to talk about Africa so that, the whole essence is to promote Africa. Why should you leave the diaspora for Africa? Is it something that you have thought about, or are you scared because you are in fear that if you had left the diaspora for Africa, things wouldn't be the way you expect them to be? Matilda says, hello, we are moving back soon, building a house right now. Let me just drop the link. I just want to express some of my concerns and just, share with you. Okay, so I've dropped the link for those of you who would like to join this platform. So I am a Zambian. I've lived in the UK for 16 years. And there's never a time that I, have been in the UK that I've never said, I don't want to go back home. It's always there. But the question is, when will I go back? How will I go back? What am I going to do in Africa? If I get back to Africa, who will support me? Who will see me through? Will my family support me? So there's a lot of questions and fears, and whereby as Africans who've lived in the diaspora or who are living in the diasporas, we even tend to comfort ourselves, say, Charlie, me, I'm not going to go to Africa. If I go to Africa, there is poverty. If I go to Africa, this and this is happening. There's that huge fear. And for me, who's lived in the UK for 16 years and I've been to Zambia, what I would say is I would rather be in Africa. I'd rather be in Africa because Africa just creates this space for you to be independent, to be free, to have peace of mind that you are in your country. There's certain things that you cannot do in the diaspora because it can terminate your visa, it can just jeopardize your stay in wherever you are. So people tend to live a life of in fear and not really at peace. Somebody says it's not easy, but it's the way forward. Somebody from Sierra Leone. King Kenyatta said, sixth region, make Africa great again. I just want to find my pen so that I should be jotting down some points. Okay, so for me, what I would say is one of the biggest mistakes that people that live in the diaspora make, number one, is they don't invest back home. I know people will say, we are building, we're doing this and that. Many people don't invest back home because A, they don't have reliable family to support them, and B, they feel they still time. They're still young. Particularly for me, who's like 36, I'm still young. I still have a long way. I can even invest when I'm 45 and then just live a life of enjoyment and just live your normal life. Go shopping, other bills like, getting a house on a mortgage, getting a car on finance. Some people even take their children to private schools and then do what the people in the Western world do, which is holidaying, go to Turkey, go to different places, Trinidad and Tobago, forgetting where you came from. And that is the biggest mistake that most people make. So they never invest back home. And particularly, I'll give an example of myself, right? I've seen people who have families that are reliable. Whereas for me, I don't have that type of reliable family that I can say, oh, I'm giving you money, help me. They will tell you they are busy, they have their own things to do. So it's a big put off when for all these years you've always wanted to do this thing, and then somebody's telling you, I'm busy. Don't you know that I have things to do of my own? And then you see, I've got a friend of mine, her brother has been helping her so much. She's built 2 flats. But even though she's built those 2 flats, she is still not planning to move back to Zambia. She's still working here because she feels like her life is here. And you see, one thing about life has taught me something. Time will never be with us. And the moment we realize that time will never be with us, we need to live our life to the fullest. We need to think about back home. We need to think about investing back home. So number one, we need to think of investing. Investing can be in different parts. You can either build a house for you to live in, or you can build flats for other people to rent. And these days, people even build what you call Airbnb, where people can rent those temporary apartments, and then you have your security there. Number two, you need to think of a business to do in Africa. Look, if you really want to see that Africa is thriving, just do a research by driving to your airport. When you drive to the airport, in case people want to join the stream, here is the link. In case you want to join, here is a link. So you need to start a business home. You need to start a business. The major business that I would really advise you to do is food business. Food business, you will never go wrong. Africa is the biggest continent when it comes to consuming food. And technology, things like mobile phones, computers, if you're even good at fixing, you will do well. Set up a plan now for you at least to say, in the next 5 years, I want to be in Africa. Let me read some comments from some people before I carry on speaking what I want to say. Okay, Matilda said she's building a house. Moses says lack of being proud. So Anthony, this is a message from Anthony. Anthony says many countries do not want the blacks from the diaspora because there is no clear way to becoming a resident. And that's the thing. You can be living in the UK. You can live for 20 years, and that's when you're now sorting out your citizenship. Now, look, imagine if you went to the UK when you were 30 years old, and then you have to wait for 20 years. You will be 50. How many more years do you have in order for you to work, for you to get your residency? So it becomes a challenge. But the place where you need to really look into is Africa. Because the moment you're investing in Africa, you are saving up for Africa, you'll find that you will have a successful business. And of course, there'll be hiccups here and there. But with you being in the diaspora, you can put in technology where you can count things via computer. If things are scanned through the computer, and you know what you're selling. But food business, you will never go wrong. During the pandemic, now, I have been running a cosmetics line, and I'll tell you this, during the pandemic, our businesses of lipsticks, makeup, and all those have really suffered. But the businesses that have never suffered is food, because everybody needs to eat, whether we like it or not. The young Sierra Leonean says, in fact, it's elders that tell younger ones not to go back. Yeah, I'll tell you about that one. My mom, she was saying, why would you want to go back to Zambia? Why do you want to come back? The children will suffer. Just stay there. Now, I am an aspiring member of parliament, for those of you who are not aware, for a constituency in Zambia called Munali. And believe you me, I've been in Zambia for 3 months and I have seen people who have never even studied abroad, my friends, who are driving Range Rovers, have got hotels, have got lodges, have got this and that, because they've been based there. They were able to acquire contracts, tenders, which supported them, and they are doing something. And those that I was studying, because I studied a bit of accounting at Zika, it was my father's wish, by the way. You will see that these people are managers now. My only young sister is a manager. She's a boss. So most of these people, I'm 36 now. And remember, I've been away for 16 years. 16 years is a long time. Those that were working 16 years ago, if they were 30, they are now 56. So some have even retired. And if they were 45, they've retired. So who takes up the jobs? We, the young ones. And that is why you need to think of Africa as a place to be whilst you're young. Don't consider Africa as a place of retirement. No, I want to be staying in the diaspora because whilst I'm staying in the diaspora, at least I can have good medical, at least I can have this and this. It's a trap. Look, when we have been in Zambia, when my little girl was ill, I was able to afford for her to go to a private hospital. With Africa, it's all about a plan. It's all about money. When you have your money, how do you plan your life? Life is affordable in Africa and it's stress-free. Yes, in Africa, we have a culture of helping out when somebody is not feeling well, but there's also that family kind of dynamics where you feel part of a family. You know, when it's dinner time, you sit down on a table and eat together. In the diaspora, yes, it's possible on a Sunday and Saturday, but if people are working from Monday to Friday, you find that you're just missing each other. So those family values of sitting together at the dining, we miss them out because of the busy lifestyle of the diaspora. I can see somebody is coming on board, Collins Chileshe. Let me add Collins in case of signal. How are you,
Hi,
Collins?
how are you?
I'm fine,
I'm
thank
good.
you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. What's your
I
contribution?
agree with you. I agree with you 100%. There's so
Yeah,
many opportunities in Africa, especially when you
yes.
have resources. You can do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
the only thing that holds people back are resources. But if you're coming
yeah,
from the UK, you're coming from America, all these other
yeah.
countries, and you've saved up enough money, there are a lot of
Mm,
investments you can do, especially in real estate, in farming, like what you
mm,
said about food. You'll never
mm.
go wrong with food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never go wrong with food. And the thing is, like, for me, one thing I've realized is that we just have a tendency of being in fear, living in fear that, you know, if I go back home, people will laugh at me. Once my visa runs out, people will say also
Mm,
things about me. But I've seen one of
mm,
my friends who left Australia and she's now a successful farmer in Zambia. And it
mm.
so happened that it was a blessing in disguise for her because she had issues with her visa and she had no choice but to go back home. And it became a blessing in the end. So for me, what I
Mm.
see and realize is we need to think of how we can invest back home because
Yes.
home is home. You know, uh, somebody's just commenting that Zambian here too. I have been in the UK 17 years. It's time to leave. Too much is going on here. Some will not move back due to fear. I would rather be in Africa as well. Which part are you in Africa now? Oh yeah, in Zambia. Chileshi, are you in Zambia? Hi,
Okay.
Collins, are you
So
in
that was just my contribution.
Okay. Okay, that's your contribution. Yeah, and so many people have been saying all sorts of things. Why would you take your children back home? Why would you want to be in Africa? And I'm looking at people who are paying thousands and thousands. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thousands and thousands of dollars for their children to be part of good private schools. So there's a huge fear. Let me just read some comments here. Oh, Chileshi, thank you so much for supporting. Moses says he's loving the comments. Aka says watching you from South Africa. Clarence Kim says hi, Lily. Blessings, sister. Although I can appreciate your topic and reasoning behind suggesting that all Africans should consider moving back home. Unfortunately, yeah. So do you really want to move back home, or is it just something that you've just thought about? Like someone said, you need to have a plan. Pius Mpanda says this is a good message for us all. One thing I have noticed is that when you are abroad, you lose all your connections back home. So when you decide to return, you always start from zero. That's true. That's true. So I think the best way is every year go back home, connect with the people, do your business. I know you lose all your connections. People move on. That's life. The older you get, the fewer friends you have. Just keep your focus. Be focused on what you need to do, and bear in mind that time is not waiting for you when you decide when to move back. That's when things will be on hold. So you find that people have moved on, they've built, they've done their own things, they've got their own circles, they're doing businesses with these people, and life has changed. So definitely that's what you get. Okay. So Shenik says, good evening to you all and the diaspora. Good evening. Clara says, until we deal with our open enemies and those that oppose our rise, we will never find security anywhere. And that's just the truth. As long as we still have our enemies, we still feel there's some drawbacks. Especially there are some people who just feel, the day I go abroad, I'll never go back home. I'll never. Why should I go back home? Do and do what? It's worthless. That country is finished. It's finished. And then so when they move, they don't even think about it, and then they find it's even worse. Like the diaspora, for me, the UK has taught me one thing. Whether you have a degree, your PhD, your master's, you're from a rich family, no one cares about that. That's your own baby. That's your own fish to fry. They don't even care about, oh, that one is from a rich family. Who are you? Because people can afford the lifestyle. So the diaspora sets a certain trap. What trap is that? The trap is you can work any job and survive. You can live a good life, afford Sky TV or whatever cable TV, and still live a good life, afford good food for your people. So what people now do is, why should I go back when I can afford champagne, Chandon, when all these things are expensive in Zambia? Now, think about it. For example, now, Zambia, for those of you who've been, checking out about Zambia and you know what's going on in Zambia, a lot of things have been going on in Zambia, and particularly, political wise, and even other parts of Africa, by the way. Now, the moment we Africans decided to go to the diaspora, guess who took over Africa? Guess who took over Zambia? Guess who took over Kenya? Guess who took over Uganda, South Africa? Guess who took over? The Chinese. You see, so we can also be investors. So how can we do it? We can form cooperatives as groups. It's not easy to move on your own. So we can form cooperatives as groups, those of you in the diaspora. 5-5, do what you call in Zambia, we call it chilimba, where we give each other loans. It goes round. In other people call it collection. So we can form cooperatives So if it's 1,000 pounds a month or 500 pounds, and then by the time it's your turn, you find that you have 5,000, you can go on a trip, invest, do what you need to do, you come back. You are there all the time. You are there all the time so that you don't lose touch. And then when it's time for you to finally move, don't move to Africa expecting a job. You will never get a job. That's just the truth. If you are working as a volunteer, like I am, I've been aspiring as a member of parliament, and I'm volunteering and I'm helping out people. Yes, you've given yourself a job. But for someone to hire you to do that, you will need connections. So the first thing that should come in your mind is, I will not get a job. That's just the truth. Because there's no way somebody who's in Zambia, Kenya, Zimbabwe, South Africa will allow somebody who's lived 17 years away, 18 years away, 20 years away to come and get their job. So you need to prepare yourself now with, what do I want to do when I'm that side? Find a shop. Look at the rates of the pound, the dollar. Like for Zambia, for example, 1 pound is about 26 kwacha. So if you have 100 pounds, it's quite a lot of money. And that money can help you to sustain yourself and to do what you need to do there. So you just slowly invest, African Hero says, go back to Africa and hide, run from the fight. The fight is in Africa. Yes. So Africa, somebody saying, oh, how I wish I could join, but I'm busy now. So I wish, okay, you join on the next one, Isaac, no problem. Okay, Onassis ZM has a powerful comment. I have moved back home in Zambia from the diaspora, enjoying my motherland, the food, the people, while investing. Africa is a safe place to be. Africa has unlimited opportunities. It has unlimited opportunities. So everything that you have experienced in the diaspora, think about it. This is what I want to do, that side. For example, I'm aspiring for Nadi constituency. And one thing I have observed is that in all areas in the constituency or just in Zambia itself, there's no libraries, there's no swimming pools, there's no empowerment activities, there's no skill centers, things that you've seen in the diaspora. So I've been looking, I'm like, okay, so when I become MP, this is what I'll be doing. So what we need to think of is go back home to Africa and see how we can contribute to better our economy. And not just allowing others to take over. Things like road contracts. You know, there's our pastor's wife from Nigeria, may her soul rest in peace, she just passed on. She was an engineer. She just collapsed. An engineer working in Scotland. This is somebody who's done, oil engineering, oil and gas and all that. These are the people who needed to be back home in Nigeria, seeing what they can do in their country. But what we do is we look at, I'll get little money. But believe you me, in Africa, for example, if I get a job now in Africa and I'm getting paid $2,000 every month, I will survive. If I get the same $2,000 in America or Zambia or UK, that money will finish on bills. That's just the truth. So somebody who's getting paid $2,000 in Africa now is surviving more than you who is living abroad. Yes, we have opportunities of free education, free medication, and free what. But at what expense? At you doing a menial job? At you working as a cleaner? At you working as a care assistant, caregiver? When you are a PhD holder, when you're a professional. I'll give you an example of Shisha Volunteer. For those of you who don't know about this time, it's a family, they're called the Volunteers. They were all in the UK when their mother and father died in a road traffic accident. That was a turning point for them. They decided to go back to Zambia to look after the family business. They built a multi-million-dollar business. It was just a school with a few classes. They expanded, and I was part of the first grade 12s of that school, high school. And I'm told They've even sold the school or something like that recently. But Chisha Folotia broke away from the family one and started his own with his wife. So think about it. If this guy said, why should we go back to Zambia? We're just going to stay here in the UK and enjoy our accents and enjoy our lives. Let's just sell. They wouldn't have built a legacy for the family. So it's good to take the risk. Take that risk. When I started saying that I was going to stand on the Monali constituency as an MP, people said, oh, straight from the diaspora. Who is she? She just come from nowhere. If I don't take position now, who will? If all of us are speaking from the computer board, typing, Zambia is a mess, Zambia is tough. Excuse me, sisters and brothers, we need to be eligible voters and we need to exercise our right as Zambian citizens. There's no way in the Constitution of Zambia that says you're not allowed to stand as an MP or president because you live in the diaspora. No, it is your right. Even now, as people who live in the diaspora, if you like, you can form a political party and stand next year. So what I'm trying to say here is, let's look at Africa as our home and as our land of opportunity. Where people say, I'm looking for greener pastures. Let's look at Africa as a place of greener pastures. Believe you me, what you invest in Africa between now and 5 years' time, you will come and thank me later and say, I did well. I did well not to even miss that live stream because I have managed to invest money in Africa. Many people don't know that they are blessed to have access to land. In the UK, a small piece of land, about, let me say 1 hectare, is £25,000 per hectare. In Zambia, I can just go to the chief in the village and say, look, not even the village, just a chief near, maybe you say it's a 2 hours drive when going wherever, and I can just tell the chief, I want to build something here and I want to start a farm business. You pay about $1,000 for 20, 30 hectares of land. So if we are forming cooperatives, you can form cooperatives with your friends and family, and then use that to build businesses for yourselves. So before I carry on, let me read Chris says, if foreigners can succeed in Africa, even those in the diaspora can succeed. It's your home. Exactly. There's a Chinese lady who moved from China. Is it Sina Wu? She moved from China to Namibia with nothing. She was broke. She's now the richest woman in Namibia. So what have the Namibian women been doing? Sleeping? So we need to think of moving back home. And do not fear. Do not fear. If you've not built a house, don't worry. You can rent a property. What you can do is, let me give you a tip. You can rent a house and pay, if you like, for 6 months. You've paid for 6 months in advance. Rentals are very cheap. For example, in Zambia, it's about 3,500 for a 3-bedroom house. And then ship a car. A car is a necessity in Africa. Whether you like it or not, you need a car. So ship your car to Africa and get yourself a property for 6 months. You've already paid your rentals for 6 months and start pushing your business. And every time you're in Africa, you can even be going back. Come back if it's US, come back for 3 months, 4 months, go back again, invest. But you've got that property where you're renting, where each time you go, you're not staying in a hotel. Then if you have a reliable brother, somebody who's helping you, a maid or anyone, they can be there helping you see, things going through. And also you can make people sign. Use the law. It's very important that you use lawyers. Whether you know these people, they are good, they'll help you sign everything, document everything with lawyers. That way, your investment is safe. So as long as you keep on going, you go back, you have your secure room, which you've even locked yourself. Maybe you just tell a maid to help you clean it once in a while so that it doesn't accumulate too much dust. At the end of the day, you know that you have a property where you can go to, and then start sending things bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. We will do ourselves good if we were to move to our own country to do what we need to do. People are crying for us. African soil is crying for us to do something. And whatever ideas you can bring in, they can change Africa. There's a lady I was watching on YouTube who sells bras, lingerie. She's a qualified nurse. She's lived in America for 25 years. And she decided to start her own lingerie company because each time she was looking for a bra in Ghana, there was no proper size. And she started the measure. She's not even a qualified bra measuring person, but she's now a successful businesswoman, has opened stores everywhere. So spot what we need there. What do you think is missing out? And once you spot that, you will realize that you will start a business that will change your life for good. Okay, so Rosa says, I would love to move to the motherland to bring back the blood of my ancestors that flow within my veins because they never got to come home. I have retired now. I know one day it will come. Rosa Bivins, you can come to Zambia. I'm going to be an MP next year, so I'll give you a special seat. And as somebody who would like to just come back home, we will sort something out for you as well. Thank you so much for your contribution. And Lunave says, I've been discussing moving to Africa in very seriousness. It's very important that you think about it. African Hero says it takes organizations to get things done. Yes, so you can form a cooperative wherever you are, sign documentation, even in the US, wherever you are, and then start borrowing each other money and start seeing what you can do together and start building your own properties. And now, in Zambia, for example, if you want to acquire land, they pay slow. You pay slow for land. They give you 12 months to pay for land, and then you can start building something, Okay, so Ossie, thank you so much. My amazing supporter has also said something. Okay, Messi Cap says there's also has to be the mindset shift back home. There was someone who returned home and wanted to build a railway network in Zambia. They were frustrated and they left. You see, for me, who's doing work related to what I do, which is social work, I wouldn't be frustrated. Don't expect people to be up to your pace immediately you get there. Work at their level. Work at their level. When you work at their level, you will see that people will respect you and they will get to understand what you're doing. For example, I am an aspiring candidate. I'm aspiring for MP in Munali. And what have I been doing? I've been empowering groups of people. So right now I've started a project called Buy a Bag of Rice. So you, my subscribers, can jump on board as well. So that Buy a Bag of Rice is if you help me buy a bag of rice, I donate 3 bags to a group of 34. Why am I doing that? These people need to be empowered. They need to know that I will not give them money to say, here, collect $100, but I will give them, here is your goods worth $220. Collect these goods, sell, make money. You're on your own. You see? So people are wondering, we've never seen a politician like this. We've never, because that is the way I know. No one should spoon feed you. Even if you're collecting benefits in the Western world, they give you this housing or whatever benefit, you have to prove why you deserve that benefit. So in most cases, you will have to work for it so that you say, no, I think it's better I work. It's even better you work. But if we try continuously want to spoon feed people, they will never learn. So the mindset, you know that people need to learn that there's different ways of working. And politicians, guess what they are doing? Guess what they are doing? They are buying people alcohol. Now, for me, I'll be looked at, oh, she's stingy. She doesn't even give us alcohol. But I buy them soft drinks, obviously. But I can't buy you alcohol. I would rather I buy you an investment which will support you. You see. So the mindset, you have to plan. Like Beth is saying, good planning and good support system is very important. And for those of you with children, I was watching a program on TB Joshua, and the story really touched my soul. That story, for those of you who want to join, let me know. That story, a lady bore twins. She met a man from Nigeria. She's a Nigerian woman, and then he brought her to, he brought her to America, and she gave birth to twins. Now, they had arguments and all sorts of things. And this man is an American citizen, and this woman decided to run away with the children and went back home, and was in Nigeria. At the age of 16, 18, the children are homeless. They don't have a job. They don't have school. And TB Joshua asked that question: where were these children born? They were born in America. Where is their birth certificate? They showed. What about their residency? What happened? No, it was UK actually. Because America would have been automatic. No, we had argument and I left. And TB Joshua said, you should have collected that document. Because if you want to move to Africa, it's fine. But the future of the child. So if you are a parent, before you move, make sure you secure your children's documents. Make sure you collect the children's British passports, American passport. I know America is automatic, but wherever you are, make sure you collect. So that if things don't go well for you, you can slowly go back. And even if things go very well for you, you know that your children's university is secure. For example, if children are born in the UK, you've managed to collect the British passports. When they reach A-level, time is free as well. And then when they reach university, you just need to fill in some forms with student finance, and you'll be able to go to university for almost free, because then you only pay when you get a job. So the child will be entitled to all those things for their future. In case you're normal, in case anything happens to you. So before you move, number one priority, if you have children, secure their documents. Do not make a mistake of leaving the diaspora. You have not sorted your children out. It will pain you when things don't work out for you. But my prayer is that things work out. So let me read something. Aussie Joe says, I want to leave land, meaning Australia. Usually foreigners can't own land. Can own land and learn how to farm on a small plot of land and work online business. So for me, what I would say to you is try by all means to think of where you can invest. Even Zambia, you can invest in Zambia also. There's lots of Nigerians in Zambia. Hi, Madi, how are you? Hi. Your signal is low. How are you? I think, Madi, you need to try to come back. Yeah. So try by all means to acquire something. I mean, Africa is our home. That's where you come from. You can invest in any African country. Africa. Hi, Madi. Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. Can you hear me?
How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Yes.
Well, thank you
I'm
for
fine. I can hear you.
Thank you. Just to say thank you for the invite. Hello?
Yeah, carry on.
No,
Yeah, we can hear you.
yeah, I'm hearing from Antonio, Texas.
Oh, wow. Oh, the signal is gone. Oh, wow. From Texas. Wow. Amazing. I think she has bad signal. Thanks so much for your contribution. Says she's ringing from Texas. Beth Cowboy says good planning and a good support system is important. Yes, definitely. Let me read this other comment. Zenith Manao. I think Mandy is coming back again. Zenith Manao says social aspect of life is definitely lost here. You have to make dates to see friends. We don't need to work on our
Hello?
healthcare
I
system, though.
think I'm
Had a bad
having
experience at a private hospital.
some network
Oh,
difficulty. Can you guys
I wish you
hear
could tell
me
us more about
there?
the experience. Let me see. Hi, Maddie. Okay, when she gets okay. So Maddie commented, that's the part of my 10-year plan to transition and move back to Zambia. Carry on, Maddie. Oh, I think she's freezing. Oh,
Like I can.
carry on. Yeah, you can speak, Maddie.
So
Uh,
I'm using my hotspot.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maddie, you can speak.
Oh, that sucks.
You can speak.
Because the Wi-Fi's in.
Okay, I think it's the her Wi-Fi is playing. She can't hear. Okay, so Beth says Zambia is a peaceful country and a good place to invest in business. Loads of foreigners are all doing well in Zambia, definitely. So Aussie, try and come to Zambia, definitely. Kelly Namuto says, yes, yeah, you are truly saying the truth. Okay. And Aussie is saying, what is Zambia's view towards the black diaspora? Are they welcome or people don't care? No, they welcome everybody. Zambians love black diaspora. We have lots of people from different parts of Africa in Zambia. In fact, Zambians will treat you, a black diaspora from somewhere else, better than me. Okay, let's see if Maddie is here now. So I just thought we should just discuss this and bring something different. We talk about reasons why we should move back to Africa.
Hello.
So the
I
major
was having
reason.
some connection issues. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can now. Yeah, we can.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was having a bit of like connection issues. So
Okay.
first of all, like I said, thank you for inviting me to the show. I just wanted to give basically my 2 cents on how I feel about the whole, Africans moving to the diaspora.
Yeah.
Especially,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been living in the US for 16 years now. And
Okay.
and I have been going home back and forth. And I just feel that now, especially with us Africans in the diaspora, we have so much knowledge. We're not like our ancestors who didn't have the facilities, the resources to get this knowledge and the skill set. I just feel that, especially with us having those opportunities of being outside and attaining knowledge and attaining whatever wealth that we have and going
Yeah.
back to our respective nations and being able to develop, because it's not right for foreigners to keep having to take over and oppress us and making us feel like second-class citizens. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why even with myself, I'm trying to make it a goal plan that I'm trying to have like a 10-year goal. Eventually I
Yeah.
do want to go back home, and
Yeah.
even right now, in December, I'm going back home with my husband. He's never been to Africa before, so it's his
Wow.
first time. I want him to go meet my family, and I want him to go and see Africa, Zambia for himself. But he's very
Yeah.
excited. even though yes, he's he's a Mzungu, but I love the fact that he has embraced my culture, and
Yeah. Oh,
my family, yeah, he really has, and my
wow.
family love him, and he's so excited about
Yeah.
going home. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, he will want to stay there because he will see the treatment that you will receive. So it's
That's
high.
what I said. That's what I said to him. I said, once you go back, love, you are gonna love it. You not even want to come back to the
No,
US.
because he will be treated very well. Zambians love Muzungus a lot, and especially when
You
you're a
know it.
foreigner in Zambia, when you're a foreigner in Zambia, you'll be very comfortable. Zambians love foreigners; they look after foreigners very, very well. We don't discriminate against foreigners unless they do something bad to a Zambian. Then maybe that's when Zambians can talk about it. So when you're in Zambia in December, make sure you call me.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I have no problems connecting. I
yeah,
am subscribed to your channel on my account. So I
yeah,
mean, it's a matter of like if you have an email, we can
yeah,
definitely keep in touch then. And
yeah,
I have no problems giving you
yeah.
like little updates on how he found the trip, because we're gonna be there for about 2 months.
Oh wow, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow. No, Zambia is a good place. Think about investing. And for you who's in America, and if you look at the business that you can do, that I would really, really persuade you to do is Airbnb, because then you can receive your money in your
Yeah.
bank account whilst you are in America, and you
That
don't need
is
to be there. All you need to do is just make sure people collect the keys from whoever, but everything will be logged in if people enter in the accommodation. There's a Muzungu I met with a Zambian woman. They are doing really well with their Airbnb. Really,
that's
really well.
good.
Yeah. So
That
Airbnb
that is
is
that
cheaper
is
than
that is
hotel.
good.
Airbnb is cheaper than hotel.
And my thing is also, I would really like to target those areas that have room for growth and potential, not to
Yes,
just concentrate on the saturated regions like, oh yeah, let me go to Lusaka. No, go to
yes,
these outskirts which have
yes,
potential to grow, you know.
yes. Yes,
S-
and
So,
for me, the place I would also persuade you is Solwezi.
oh my
Solwezi,
gosh, you kind of you actually, it's like you and I have telepathy, because that is where I was thinking. So where's
yeah,
he? No, for real.
Solwezi is booming. It's really, really nice. It's a place that any business you start, whether it's an internet cafe, anything you start, you will succeed. Anything, food business, anything.
Yeah,
There's a
I'm into the food. I'm into the food industry because,
yeah,
my mother being a chef, and also here I have
yeah,
like a food vendor business. What I was doing was I was going to like various different events, and food vending at various events around Texas. That's what I was doing. And
yeah.
my concept was it was like an Afro fusion comfort food concept.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
infusing like African flavors with a little bit of, Middle Eastern, and putting my own little spin
Mm,
twist to it. And
yeah.
it was really doing well. People were really like loving the flavor. So I really want to do something like
Mm-hmm.
that back home as well
Mm.
as other projects.
Yeah, wow. No, you will succeed, definitely. That one I can guarantee you will succeed. Somebody is commenting here. I want you to respond to this one. Um, Matilda C is saying, my worry is not to be allowed to enter because of the test. I will be in Tanzania in November on my way to Zambia. Are you aware that you need to do the COVID test?
Oh yeah, I am.
Yeah,
You have to do it at least 14 days prior, and
yes,
then it has to be a negative result. Trust me,
yeah,
I did my research, because the last thing I need is surprises, especially with
yes,
my husband. Yeah, especially
yeah,
with my husband, being, an American, being a foreigner
yeah,
going into the country. I needed to
yeah,
make sure that he's covered. So
yes.
he just got approved for his e-visa, so he's good to enter.
Oh,
Now
good.
it's now just adhering to the COVID
Yeah.
restrictions and requirements. So I'm ready.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. We have Wise Man. Wise Man, how are you?
Hi, Wiseman.
He's gone off. Okay, somebody has just said something. Ossi Joe is a Nigerian based in Australia. He's an amazing supporter of this channel, and he says life in the West is becoming increasingly more restricted. The economies are dying due to green, sustainable policies and taxes and debt. So I'm thinking, why should I stick around? And to be honest, it's become really expensive, really costly to live in the diaspora as compared to those days. So what would you say about that? Do you think the economy is dying? What do you think?
I mean, yes, the cost of living has become much more expensive, but
Yeah.
it's not even about the economy as well. I mean, me as an African, as a Black person, being in my nation, being in my country, I hate to feel discriminated. I don't have those issues when I'm back home. You know what I mean? I don't have
Yeah.
to keep worrying about whether,
Mhm.
I'm going to get, beaten up because of my race. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not having to worry about my sons, because I have two sons from a previous relationship, from a previous marriage. My
Yeah.
ex-husband, he's Black. He's Black
Yeah.
American. So
Yeah.
I've got sons that I'm raising,
Yeah.
and I don't have to, when I'm back home, they feel so much at home.
Yeah.
Like my sons, I had to take them home for a while. They were there for 3 years because I
Really?
wanted them to, yeah, I had to.
Oh,
I let my sons go home and stay with family for a while because I did want them to know more about their culture. And it was
mm,
the best thing that I did, because now
mm,
my sons have the best of both worlds, being
yes.
American and African at the same time.
Yeah.
But they really do love and respect their Zambian culture. And they always talk about, Mom, I can't wait to go back, because they're going
Yes.
back next year. And I'm
Oh,
so happy that
yeah.
my family had partaked in raising them and teaching them the culture. So
Oh,
it's not them. Yeah, I really am. I made a good decision
yeah.
doing
Yeah.
that.
Well done. Well done. Honestly says diasporas come back and invest in Zambia. The land is just too plenty here. Home is
Oh
calling.
yeah.
And then Zenith says she's thinking about Monze, not Lusaka. Of course, not Lusaka. Lusaka is just for us who are doing politics. But once we are settled, the place that I've always wanted is always, because I have some farmland there as well. So Monze is a good place. And nowadays, I mean, you can do a business anywhere across Zambia, food business. You
True.
will say, um, Dautu Lupata says that's a nice program. What do you bring? What you have acquired and invest in Africa. We love you. So the biggest fear is people feel if they go back home, they might be stranded, they might be stuck, and people will laugh at them. But I
No.
think from what Shenik is commenting as well is, what is Shenik saying? It's loading. Shenik says being in the diaspora is hard because no one, you are insulted for being black and then insulted for being foreign. Come home, and that's what
That's
I'll
true.
give you an experience, an example of myself where my neighbor assumed I was just somebody who stays at home because I want to be on benefits, but she doesn't know that I do YouTube videos and make money
Yeah.
and I work night shift. She didn't know that I was working at night, going to work. So one day when she just burst out, say, "Oh, all you do is just sit at home." I was like, "Excuse me, do you know that I work at night?" And then
Right.
she started calling the police on me to say that I leave the children at home, but I have somebody who used to help me, and the person would come in or I would take them there. And then now that I've been in Zambia, she reported my car that it's been abandoned. So you can imagine, like,
Wow.
who would do that to you in Zambia or in your African country to say your car has been abandoned? Nobody. You know,
Exactly.
you
It's
find
like,
that,
mind your business.
yeah, you find that they have this hostility. Some of them have this hostility, like, what are you doing in our country? Go back to your own home country. We need to have our own people, British jobs for British people. You hear such type of terminologies, and yet there are some of the people are lazy; they can't even go and work. So each time I'm in the UK, the main thing that I've always felt is I've never felt I'm at home. I've just felt like I'm a visitor who's waiting for maybe like my studies to end for me to go back. That's how I've always felt. I've never felt like I'm there.
I grew up in the UK as well. I was there from a very young age when I was about 3 months old to about the time that I was 11, and then my parents went. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did. I grew up in the UK, and honestly, like as an adult, yes, I've been to the UK, but it's not somewhere honestly now that I could see myself living.
No.
It's like that. It lost its lackluster. It was great when I was a child growing up, and I'll always have those fond memories of me being in the UK. But now being in the US, I definitely see a bigger contrast. But it's not somewhere honestly that I would feel at home. Because to be honest with you, the only Black friends that I really had when I was in the UK were family friends, kids. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really did feel like I was a minority there. I had a lot more white friends because there weren't a lot of Black kids when I was there. At least in the US, there's, the ratio of Blacks, at least you can get to see people who look more like you in the US than it was in the UK,
Yeah. No, the UK is a very tough place. Like for me, I've never felt I'm home. And you find that the best job that you can even do is work as a cleaner, but you have your degree and your master's. And then when you're working, the person who's your supervisor is talking about you. They find a way of sucking. They're talking about just because you're working to earn about £10 or £20 in 2 hours or so, but they are talking about you. They are not happy, So I see that quite a few people are sad, and they try to bring their frustrations on others. And when I see my family in America as well, they are happier than here. My uncle has always said, I could never live there. I don't even know what you're doing. I needed to collect the children's British passport. So when I collect that one, then I know wherever they are, they can go without a visa, especially America. But otherwise, for me, I've never, ever felt I am home. Never. That's why, there are some people who settle, they buy plasma TV. They don't. I'm not going to buy those things. I just have a fridge, cooker, what, simple things. Because I know that when the time comes, like fully, especially when we form government, you just come and throw away your things. Fly to the UK to throw the things. Just call a charity. Can you come and collect the fridge? Come and collect this, or I'm selling this for so much. That's it. And your life goes on. Yeah.
You see, the thing is, like, I just feel like with us Africans in the diaspora, we need to have a game plan. It's not just well and good. Oh yeah, let's go back home, woohoo! But then you've got no plan. Yes. You have to have a backup plan. You need to know what your goals are. Go with money. Go with something. I saw somebody talking about, they don't want to go back home and feel like they're embarrassed because they were in the diaspora coming back home with nothing. The only way you can avoid that is going with a game plan. Save up money. Start doing things slowly but surely. Take trips, start looking for land, see how much you're going to need to get the plot of land, and it's a process. But it's not to say it cannot be done. And that's why I'm setting myself with a 10-year goal plan, because I want to do things slowly but surely, so that when I'm ready to go home, I'm going back home full swing, and I'm going there prepared.
Definitely. There's a guy from Ghana. He was a lecturer in the UK. He had his PhD, and life was just so tough for him. And he just said, you know what, I'm going back home. And he went back to Ghana with just a certificate, with nothing, no money, no saving. And he started a college. Today, that man is a millionaire.
Good.
He is one of the most respected people in Ghana. He's doing so well that side. And for me, I would rather somebody takes a risk than completely saying, no, it will never be possible. I remember
Mm-hmm.
when in 2006, when I was about to go to Zambia, I wanted to go back to Zambia. By then, I only had my son
Yeah.
and with the then guy from Zambia. And I was like, no, I want to go back to Zambia and go to KwaZulu Natal college and do nursing and maybe come back. And the time when I was planning to go is the time I met the guy from Ghana, and he was like, why are you going back to Zambia? Stay here. And he really convinced me. And each time you hang around them, the people from Ghana, all they talk about is they want to stay here. And I'm thinking, I'm in the wrong crowd. So I would always have this vision of, I want to go home. I want to go home. And he would always discourage me even when I'm on. And what I found myself doing was even finding friends on Facebook, and I would feel connected like I'm part of Zambia. Oh, this Facebook that you like. And I didn't know, I was just preparing myself for being a vlogger in the future. But then he was
Yeah.
always complaining, and I never felt, because for them, once they meet up, have their drinks, eat their fufu and their soup, they are settled.
Yeah.
They are happy. And the Ghanaian is agreeing with me here, Prince Ajuman. They are settled, the Ghanaians. So me, I ask myself, like, why would you want to be settled in this place? If you see the cars they drive, Mercedes Benz, they buy plasma from here and there, they call people to come and see. I'm like, in the UK, who's going to see this? Buy these things for Africa. So for me, I've never really felt, and that's why I always wanted to do a course that will help me, help people in Zambia, not here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm so much into, we need to think about going back to the diaspora, Zambia. Somebody's here. Wise man, how are you?
All right, how are you, madam?
I'm
Hey,
fine.
how are you?
Yes, well,
Hey.
man. I'm in Zambia actually. Hi, how
Oh
are you,
yeah,
madam? Nice to meet you.
Nice to
yeah.
meet you too.
So we're just
Yeah, nice to
asking.
meet
We're just asking people who live abroad to go back home. I just wanted to do a specific YouTube, just with the YouTube subscribers, because I know if I added it to Facebook, it will be more. I'll be doing another live stream shortly, talking about the election and anything politics. Because each time I add people on Facebook, they start commenting about politics on my live streams. I'm like, no, no, no. It's a different topic. So, what do you think, wise? What would you advise, wise man, people who live abroad, Africans, because this platform is for people from all over the world? What would you tell them? Would you tell them to come back home to Africa or to continue staying where they are?
Yeah, I think one thing which you can't learn out of it, Madam Lily, is that even America, it won't be America without Africans. Yes, it's very important for the people in America, UK, to come back to Africa and come and invest so that we can start competing with America and the rest of the continent. Because Africa, I think it's one of the countries which has got everything, which even this American, UK, and so ever, they look up to. But because we have undermined our very own continent, that's why we look like Africa. We are only beggars. We can't survive on our own. But I think it's very important to tell the Africans to start coming and start investing in Africa. You can come, especially in Zambia. I think Zambia is a good place, it's a good country, a peaceful country. I think I live in Zambia and I'm a businessman as well. I think it's a good country. That one you can't lie out of that.
What
I
part
think
of Zambia?
it's very important.
What part of Zambia do you live?
What part of Zambia do you live?
Right now I'm in Kabwe. Central
Kabwe,
Province.
Kabwe is nice. Kabwe is okay.
I'm in Kabwe. We are neighbors with the capital city, so we can come and do the investment even here in Kabwe. I think we are.
Well, my mom lives in Chilanga, so that's where I'm going to be staying. I'll be staying in Chilanga with mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are welcome. You are welcome. Actually, it's a good thing, Madam Lily, which we have done to start telling our friends who are in diaspora to come and invest in Zambia. But one thing which we can't hide or beat the bush is that yes, they can come, But it's you are the ambassador of this platform. It's you who's calling those people. So if those people like my aunt there, when she comes in Zambia, she invests and then it fails to grow. You'll be someone to blame because you are the ambassador. So even when you
she can't take all the blame now. Come on, she can't take all the blame.
Yeah,
I
even
told
when
them they need to have a backup plan.
so even when you are advertising our country, I think we need to tell the truth to say, okay, Zambia is a peaceful country, is a very good place, but only one disease which we have to work on. If you work on that disease, then you are going to achieve. You see,
one Zambia, one nation.
Like here in Kabwe, we had a very big investment which came in the name of shopping malls. We have about 2 shopping malls which came in Kabwe. That was a very big investment which came, but because we didn't plan for it, there's nothing to support those things. They are closing bit by bit. So even as much we are trying to advertise our country, I think you shouldn't hide for them that there's a disease. There's one disease which we are working on, but I'm sure it will be gone by 2021. That disease, when it goes, Zambia, it will be 100% a very good country with an economist, a businessman. I think, for me, that's why I can add on. But we are still following the program. We'll be commenting when needs come. Madam, you are welcome. You can come to Zambia first of all. Pass through Zambia. The transport is cheaper. Although we have got
I'm
no
gonna be there.
train.
I'm gonna be there in like a month and a half. So I'm ready.
You'll find
and hubby, oh my God, my husband is so excited. Telling his friends, family about going to. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Following the program.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'll be ending this live stream shortly because I have to start the political one, and I was avoiding, politics, because if I had connected it to my Facebook, people would just be commenting about politics. So One Stone says Zimbabwe is wrong 10. I miss home. I don't know what 110 meant. Otherwise, okay, Kasua has just commented. Invest back home and plan properly before you head back. Definitely. So
I agree.
And then Doughty Lupata says, Honorable Lillian, my constituency is waiting for you. Time is ticking. Come and implement your programs so that people in the diaspora will have something to admire. Definitely. That's powerful.
Lily, thank you so much for having me on your live stream. I'm definitely going to be in touch with you, sis.
Thank you so much. So my email address is lillianmutamstv@gmail.com. Thank you so much. We'll be in touch.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so things in the UK are different now. Employment people will now want to leave. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I will be taking a break shortly, and then at 1:30 or 1:45. Yeah, 1:45 the time now. We will do a live stream talking about politics. This one will be connected to Facebook. I just wanted to have a chat with my subscribers. You guys are the ones who make sure that I grow my YouTube platform. So I really wanted to just discuss with you. I will send you a message so that we can have some discussions on this platform together. Martins, love you. I'll send you a message over so we should carry on connecting. So the topic for the day has been reasons why you should move back to Africa. So I'll be discussing these topics every day. Like I promised my subscribers yesterday, my subscribers, that every day I'll be doing live streams on my YouTube platform so that we can connect until we hit 100,000 subscribers. Thank you. Oh, Messi. I can see Messi. Messi. I just started looking at Messi.
Hello.
Hello, Messi.
Hi, how are
We
you?
practice on to start the political. I'm
Pardon?
fine. How have you been?
I've been
I'm
okay.
fine. How have you been?
Oh, I've been okay. Yeah, not too bad.
Okay.
We thank God. Yeah.
I was just about to end this one because we'll start a political one, but your contribution is
Okay.
very important. Yeah, no, wait.
Okay.
Your contribution is very important.
Okay.
Why should you leave the diaspora for Africa? That's the topic. Why
Well,
should you leave the UK, since you're in the UK, for Africa? Why? Why should you?
I think it's different reasons for different people, but the most common
Yeah,
one is it's because it's home. I think that's what most
yeah,
people would say. That's where they've come from. That's where they grew
yeah.
up. Even those that didn't grow up there, their ancestors are from there. So it's home. That would be the main reason. I think also there's this thing within Africans
Yes.
where when you've lived in different countries, it gives you an opportunity to see how people do things there. So
Yeah, yeah,
it also gives you a chance to improve on how people do things, and then you can then transfer that back home
yeah.
and help the country to improve. But there
Mm-hmm.
are several different things, I think, which prevent certain people from making that move in going back home. One of them is fear. People are afraid that they will not succeed, so they're not willing to take that leap. Others, for those who have attempted to go back home, it's because they've tried to go back home and they've tried to work with the people, and then they get negative responses of "who do you think you are?" type of
Yeah,
thing. It's very common. I've seen it back home,
yeah.
and they haven't had that strength to endure it. And for some, it is the frustration where they feel that locals will treat foreigners better, or maybe because of influence of the colonial mindset, people tend to prefer something foreign rather than a local person. So this is where you see this manifest in situations where there's for example, maybe a white person has the same qualifications as a black Zambian,
Yes.
but they would rather go with the white person. So it's
Yeah.
various different reasons, and they manifest themselves in many forms. So I would say for anyone that has intentions moving back home, you have to have a plan. There
Yeah.
are obstacles that you're going to face. So
Yeah.
make sure that you're in the mindset that gives you the strength to endure those situations, because you are going to face them. So all in all, why should we go back home? I would say, it's because it's home. That's why people should move. Others,
Yeah.
who prefer safety, like myself, I would rather, I'm in a position where I can invest
Yes.
safely, not
Yeah.
recklessly. Where
Okay.
if things were to go wrong, I find myself that I haven't got the strength to endure what I'm going through. I can always move back. You want to have that security. And
Yeah.
it comes down to three things. People want security, stability as well. So I think for this to work, to give reassurance to different types of people who are facing different problems, but deep in their hearts, they do want to see their home succeed. I mean, who wants to see their home not do well? That's
Yes.
why, even those of us that have been away for 20 years, when we see our people being oppressed by
Yes.
dodgy investors, it hurts you,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you have that connection with back. You have that connection with back
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So I think it would take a concerted effort.
Yeah.
We need to be more understanding of one another. I would say to the people that are back home that feel that people in the diaspora, think they are up there, because there are people who feel that way. I think we need to be patient with one another. When someone comes with a good idea, their intention is not to keep you down. It's actually to teach you what they've learned, because
Yeah.
they've seen how things are done in other places, and they've had a chance to see those things succeed.
I would say as well, for those who trying to teach other ways of doing things, to find a way or to relearn how to do things in a respectful way. Because if you don't do things properly, you don't communicate very well, you can be easily misunderstood, and you could be considered as to be disrespectful, or you think yourself too high over everyone else. So that wouldn't really work. You find things will break down in that way. So also, I think there has to be, we have to have a good government that has a vision of what sort of things we can achieve when the diaspora and the local people within the country and the government, when they unite, you can achieve amazing things. The problem that we have at the moment is not being united enough. But if you're looking for examples, there are people who are doing it back home. Maybe speak to those people, find out what obstacles they have faced. If you face those yourself, maybe they will help give you advice on how you can navigate around those. And the biggest example that we have as well of someone that's doing really well, who's put electricity in their country, where most governments have failed, Acorn. I mean, how many more examples do you need? It is possible. It can be done. So so that's what I think. So to have security and stability, where we're not concerned, we talked about, when you have children in another country that's doing really well, you want to make sure that you get documents. Why is that? That's like some type of a backup plan in case things go wrong. So deep within, we do know things are not perfect in our countries. That's why we want to have that backup plan. So we need to unite, communicate better, and then there has to be a concerted effort with governments, locals, and the people in the diaspora, and we will succeed if we do this. We can do this. So that's my contribution.
Oh, thank you so much. Amazing contribution. You're coming again next on the live stream about politics, because people want those live streams as well. But I thought this one was just for us on YouTube, because if we connected it to Facebook, people start asking questions. Why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, this was a good topic, actually. And I think we need to have more discussions like this, because it makes you aware. It raises awareness, and it gives you information. So you learn more, you get encouraged as well. So we need to have more of these discussions so we can educate each other. Maybe there will be someone from back home who has had their own experience with people from the diaspora. Maybe they can give us some insight as to the reasons why they struggle to work with people like that, or the reasons why they feel things haven't gone so well. So it's all about having these discussions, and then we can move forward. But I believe, we can do this, and we can succeed.
Yeah, definitely we can succeed. And it's important. And the question that somebody is asking, have you left Zambia? And people don't understand that you can't just go, even if it's politics. You have to have a backup plan. Because everything you're doing is money. Everything in Africa, there's nothing like you pay today and collect tomorrow, or you pay slow and then you'll be using the items. So everything is cash. So in as much as we've started this journey politically, I still need to have a backup plan until I'm sure.
That is true. I think we need to be disciplined as well, isn't it? Financially, there is a strong need for financial education. So one of the things that I noticed that some people were struggling with, especially the younger ones that moved from back home and then they go to the diaspora, is this obsession with loans, the ease of it, and they end up being in debt, and it takes them a really long time to clear that. And where some of them are doing jobs where they are the breadwinner, they are supporting back home. You have to pay you have to pay back, the loans that you've borrowed. Then you have to support people back home, and then you have to support yourself in this country. Then you have nothing left to save. So you find yourself stuck in a country for years and years and years because of poor financial decisions. And then after that, you have nothing that you can say, this is what I've bought back home. This is what I've invested in. So I think we need to be careful in how we manage our finances. And just be disciplined. Don't follow the crowds. Those who can party every weekend, and have the money to do it, let them do it. But if you can't afford it, don't. Just don't live beyond your means.
Yes.
You know, never ever live beyond your means. So yeah, we have to be disciplined in that aspect as well. And then also for some people, I think there's guilt as well.
Yes.
Where, say, you know, you've traveled to another country, you're doing okay, you're not struggling for food, and then you're hearing stories of back home of your family that are struggling. You're not going to enjoy your meals because you know that people are struggling at home. So I think it's also very difficult for people to save when they are supporting someone back home. But if you're disciplined, you know, you don't live beyond your means. If you're studying, concentrate on your studies and finish. Don't fall into the trap of getting loans. In 3-4 years, you'll finish your education. Also, the people that you hang out with, because I did have this experience myself. When I came into the UK, the people that I was spending time with always said, you cannot get a good job. You can never get a good job in the UK. And that was in my mind. I can never get a good job. Nothing will happen for me. But then there were certain people that I saw. They came to the UK. We were on the same visa. You know, they struggled and they persevered, did not live beyond their means. They finished their studies. You know, we were in the same situation. So that got me thinking. I was thinking, oh, so I can do this if that person has done it. So I just removed myself from certain groups of people. And I found myself, you know, good friends who motivated me, who spoke positive words. And yes, you can do it. You can do it. You can get a good job in the UK. But when you do so, you know, also invest back home, because there's the opportunity to do big business. You know, you can have a huge business compared to here. I think it's more concentrated. There's too many businesses, there's too many people, but there's a huge opportunity back home. So just be wise with your money. And yes, we can do this. Sorry, I've gone on and on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Winner One says this woman speaking is versed and full of experience. Brilliant. Winner One is from Nigeria. So we have Rose Limerick in America. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Are you at work?
Yes, just sitting. And you know, Lily, I just want to thank you for everything. I like the way Messi was saying, when we are in the diaspora, we always want to make ourselves in a different way. But when we have to look back home, we're going to get old. And then we have to make sure, because you don't want, when you get old, you live in a nursing home. You have to make sure that you invest back home. And you know, the other thing, when you invest, you're giving somebody a job. For example, you plan to have a farm. Those people who live there, they're going to work. They're going to work for you, and you're going to give them the job. The thing is that we are so blinded when we are here, because I want to drive a nice car. I want to wear nice clothes. I want to have everything. We're forgetting about back home. And the other thing, people, they part a lot. They forget about home. When you part a lot, yes, that's what usually happens, because I've seen. And you know, when we're here, we have to make sure that you avail yourself with the Lord, because as soon as you divert in a different way, you're going to forget about home. And you can borrow money, you invest back home, you pay back. The thing is that when you borrow money, you want to go buy expensive handbag, expensive clothes. You're forgetting about back home. You have to just discipline yourself. You can buy expensive clothes, but at a cheaper price. You can buy, you can save, and you have to look at yourself, your family, and even helping other people. For me, I believe in whatever little you have to make sure that the way you know, the way you use the money. That's the way it is. That's why a lot of people, they are so scared to go back home, because they don't have anything to take there. If you work, you save the money, you can go live back home. For example, you retire. When you retire, you getting probably $2,000 a month. That's a lot of money in Zambia.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. But we don't think, we say, oh, no, I can't go back. And then the other thing, people are so scared to go back because they left their country long time. They haven't been there, so they don't know what is happening. And the other thing, people, why they don't want to go back? Because when you go, for example, I can go, I come back. I can go, I come back. Some people, when they go, they are not gonna come back. So we put ourselves so busy to work, you forget what you're here for. That's what makes me people to quote themselves in that. They say, I can't go back because we're busy round the clock because there's so many bills. You're talking about you paying the house of $2,000. You pay your car note. You pay your credits because here you can just go put your card in whatever you want to buy.
Yeah.
Because they don't count you when you're not borrowing. They count you when you're borrowing and pay back.
Yes.
That's the way it is.
That's true. That is true.
That's what it is. And we forget about that. So the only thing we have to, like the way Lily you're doing, you left England. You are in Zambia. People, they think that, oh, maybe you didn't make it. No, you want to help them. For me, as soon as UPND come back, I'll come to Zambia. I'll come to Zambia, and that's the way it is. So that's the only thing I can tell people. So,
Okay, Auntie, please, I want you to come on the next live stream because we're going to talk about this online voting.
okay.
So please don't forget shortly after we just end this one. Hi, Destiny Studios. How are you? People have missed this live stream. So now, how are you? You need to unmute your sound, Destiny. Yeah, how are you? Okay, Destiny? What's your contribution?
Yeah,
what's your contribution?
I'm very fine. No, I'm just enjoying the broadcast, so I don't have any contribution. Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, no problem. You can come on the next one, which we'll be talking about online voting. Thanks for your support.
No,
Hi,
no.
Morris. How are you? How are you, Morris? Oh, Morris, your sound is off.
Oh,
Morris, your sound is off.
sorry. Okay. Yeah, I was on mute. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Is it the topic? Is it the topic of what, online voting or the diaspora people to come to Zambia?
Moving back home. Reasons why you should move back to Africa. The one for voting, we'll talk about it in the next one shortly when we turn off this one. So why should people move to Zambia? Why should people move to Africa?
There's a lot of potential. There's huge gap, out of 100%. There's like I can just say 90% of gap, 90% of gap of things that you can do, things, not so many things that have been done in Zambia, in terms of business. Mainly I'll talk about agriculture. When you do agriculture, the problem when we talk about agriculture in Zambia, the mentality, many people just think it's just agriculture and then you sell your crops. Just we can also do processing. So there's that opportunity of food processing. We can farm, we can do food processing. When we do food processing, remember, like Sata said, Zambia, we can move from landlocked country to land-linked country. You know, we've got about 8 neighbors, and other Southern Africa countries. Imagine if we can do farming at a high capacity and food processing of each and every crop, packaging them, sending them to Southern Africa, and even overseas. You know,
Yeah.
we've got
Yeah.
countries like Ghana. Well, I won't even talk about South Africa. South Africa, we already know what they are doing, what they are capable of.
Yes.
We've got countries
Yeah.
like Ghana. Ghana, they are doing it. We've got countries like Kenya. Kenya, they are doing it. Countries. I'm always on my TV watching these agriculture
Yes.
things. What the other countries are doing. I'm watching Uganda. Like right now, I was just watching people from Uganda, Kenya, what they are doing. You know, so we can also do that in Zambia. But you know, people with money, there are people in Zambia with money, but they don't do those things. You know, they don't do those things. You just wonder. They don't do food processing and stuff.
Yeah.
They're busy just saying you can use 2 million to go and shop and
Yeah.
you know, boom and do some. But anyway, you know, if you've got people from diaspora, you know, you've saved up your pounds, your dollars, you know, when you come in to Zambia, you know, maybe start farming. Or if you don't want to farm, what you can do is you buy machinery, you start doing food processing. You go maybe like in Munirunga there, you set up
Yeah.
a pineapple plant. You know, you
Yeah.
don't have to do it alone. You can do partnership with other people. You buy machinery, you set up a plant there in Munirunga, start doing food processing. What you can do with food processing, you just don't have to supply Zambia. You know, you can also do food processing and start supplying in Dubai, in
Yeah.
you know, these countries, you know, Arabs countries, in Europe. You know, it's business. They won't. No one will say no. You can't do it. You know. So you
Yeah.
know, I mean, there are a lot of things we can talk about: planting mangoes and doing processing, dried fruits. We can talk about apples, making selling fresh apples and making juice, mangoes. We can plant those things. But
Yes.
yeah, so like people from that, you know, I'm talking about all these things because I'm here in South Africa. I can see what,
Yes.
when I was at home, all I could think about is maize,
Yes.
maize.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
now because you know, I've traveled, I've seen, you know, South Africa,
Yes.
you don't even really see a lot of maize. We see too much grapes. So the grapes, they are
Fruits.
selling grapes. They are sending them overseas. They are making wine. We see oranges farm here in South Africa, huge farms. You know, last time I was watching their documentary here. South Africa annually they make billions of dollars annually
Yes.
in fruits industry alone. And then
Yeah.
those fruits, they don't just sell here in South Africa. They send them in Europe. They go to Europe. They go to America. Their fruit juices and stuff. So I was
Yes.
looking, I was imagining, if Zambia can be like this, imagine how much, you know, we need to be a country that's taking money from outside, bringing
Yes.
in the country. We shouldn't be the country that, you know, the money is getting out of Zambia, it's outside. I
Yeah.
mean, we'll get old and die. Our children will get old and die. We are just talking about the same and the same story. So people from diaspora,
Yes.
you've been exposed to many things. You know, if you have an opportunity, you have got some good money. You know, food processing, it doesn't cost. You don't have to do. You don't have to have millions to do it. You know, you can go to check in China there how much those machinery are. Me, I was shocked. They're actually cheap than we think. You know, they're actually cheap.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you just see, yeah, you know, there are so many things when you are inside the box. They seem to be so expensive. When I was in Zambia, so many things looked impossible for me. But when I came here to South Africa, you know, it opened up my mind. You know,
Yeah.
I managed to buy things I couldn't. I'm looking at things that I can't afford to buy now, but I can see that now it's possible for me to buy them. You know, so for people from diaspora, come up with those things and new ideas. Come to Zambia. There is so much opportunities, guys. There is so much. Imagine all the fruits we eat in Zambia. Yeah. Imagine all the fruits we eat in Zambia are from South Africa. Imagine, just imagine. So there's like 100% gap there of doing it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for your contribution, Tobias. Sorry, Morris, and then Tobias, how are you? Morris, thank you so much for your contribution, and I need you to come back for the other live stream that will be talking about online voting.
Okay.
Hi, Tobias.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'll end this live stream, and then I will start a new one, fresh one, about in 10 minutes time, where we'll talk about online voting and your experiences. I'll see you shortly.
Okay, see ya.
Okay. Take care. Take care. I'll see you in a bit. So thanks so much, everybody that has tuned in onto this live stream. The whole idea was for us to educate each other about moving back to Africa. Tomorrow, again, same time, I'm talking about the 10 different businesses that you can do in Africa for you to become a millionaire. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about how we can move to Africa and invest in Africa. Africa is our home. If you are somebody who's in Africa, is succeeding right now, you are successful, are you leading the diaspora for many years, please do not forget to send me an email. Or if you know somebody, just send me an email, Lillian Mutambo @gmail.com. So thank you so much. We'll see you shortly for the next live stream. I'm still not giving up at home and invest. Oh, thank you. Mandy says she's not going to give up. Chick says we can also educate our youth so that things that have happened now won't repeat. Definitely, that's very, very important. So thank you so much. I see you shortly on this